Keller, your optimism guru, ready to spread a little daily cheer in your world. So today, I've got lots of great things I want to talk about. The very first thing is I went to an incredible book sale. It was put on by Half Price Books, so it's already great prices. And then add on top of it, it was this giant convention center clearance. And going in, I thought, this is going to be all the dregs of book society that no one would ever have any interest in. And it was not. It was a thing of great beauty. And I'm only showing you these two because they are going to be so useful in my world. Okay, so I've got one kiddo who is Van Gogh obsessed. And look, there are all of these like full page, awesome size prints. Guess what mom's going to do with those? Frame them? Guess how many gifts I'm going to get out of this $1 book? About a zillion. Yes, go mom. And this was another artist whom it's like characterizations of all of these super famous, primarily 80s people, and I love it. I am so excited. Let's see, this artist's name is, I recognize his work, but I can't think of his name. I want to say Kruger. I think that's right. Sebastian Kruger. Anyway, I am obsessed with both of these books and all of the awesome gift opportunities therein. And then we, of course, loaded up on just tons and tons and tons of other books at incredible prices, and it was fantastic. So I will never again doubt that a Half Price Books clearance sale is not worth going to, because it was absolutely fabulous. Fabulous. I recommend it to all of my friends, and which is why I am recommending it to you. I'm drinking out of my Wisconsin mug today because I'm incredibly jealous that they just got boatloads of snow in April, and I was just there in early March and could hardly find any snow, even in the most shadowy regions of the neighborhood, and the lake wasn't frozen enough even to walk on. And I am so jealous right now that they have snow. But in all fairness, in beautiful Granbury, Texas, it is officially lake season, and the boats are out all the time. And you know, if I can't have my snow, at least I can have water sports. So life is good. Okay, so I got my latest edition of Forbes magazine yesterday, which I have talked on here before about loving. This is the April 30th edition, so it's probably not on newsstands just yet, but will be very soon. Anyway, this article on it's called Venture Catalysts, and it is actually the cover article. How 36 women are secretly rewiring Silicon Valley and what that means for the rest of American business. I love this magazine for so many reasons. But I really get inspired whenever they have these kinds of articles that not only, Forbes does a phenomenal job of lifting up individual business people, men and women, instead of giving this, this article could have gone a couple of different ways. This could have been just a very vague, overreaching article about these women and a general thing that they're doing in order to change the face of technology in Silicon Valley. However, instead, because it's Forbes, they go through and they tell a story about each of these incredible business women, and I love it. You know, oftentimes whenever one or more of them really stand out to me, I'll scan the article and put it in one of my Dropbox folders that I have, you know, because I'm an organizer and I'm a categorizer, and so I will do that. I'll put it in one of the articles files, or I will cut it out and put it on like an inspiration wall, you name it. There are so many great ways to be inspired reading these kinds of things. So I encourage you, if you did not get your copy in the mail yesterday, I encourage you to pick up the latest edition of Forbes whenever that edition comes out, particularly if you are a woman. This edition was a special edition that just came a couple of weeks ago, I guess, and it is also very, very good. My favorite thing that Forbes does is all of the millionaire and billionaire and all of these lists that they put out. And they just inspire me to no end. So this is the world's billionaires. The world's billionaires all across the world. Sometimes it's, you know, United States, and then they break it down by country. I mean, it is just, I love how much information Forbes gives on the people that it lifts up and that it, you know, shines lights on. It is just so inspiring and encouraging, and, you know, I don't want to say this, I'm kind of tempted not to even say this aloud because, you know, I don't want to shoot myself in the foot, but it's not that I have a desire to be a billionaire. There's a lot of pressure there. There's a lot of pressure with being a billionaire. But knowing the tips and strategies and techniques and following the lives and the work and the family life and just the productivity hacks, if you will, of people who make this kind of list is enough to motivate you and inspire you and fill every cell of your body with just amazing business energy. And so I think it's so important to not let things like, oh, well, they made it big doing that and I'm, you know, still working at McDonald's flipping burgers. I think it's very important not to allow ourselves to get bogged down in the negative aspects of other people's successes. I think it is critical that we celebrate successes with them and learn from them. You know, we don't always have to reinvent the wheel in order to be successful and in order to excel at what we are doing. It's totally fine to say, that's working for that guy, that's working for that woman, that worked in that business, that worked in that industry. It can work for me. I can utilize that tip this way. I can do that same kind of thing in my business, even though it's a different industry, or even if it's the same industry. I can use that. I don't have to make everything up. I don't have to fly by the seat of my pants with everything, and I can succeed learning what others have taught and gone before me. So I think that's critical. Along those lines, I'm going to re-include my time auditor sheet in the description box below again, and I will also link the previous video where I kind of went into more detail as to how I use my time auditor, because I'd like to encourage you every single day to be busy, but not just be busy for the sake of being busy. Be busy for the sake of being productive, getting things done, checking things off, and doing all that you can to excel your goals each and every day. So we have our time auditor, which I love because then you can feel, it's not a planner, it's on the other side. It's as you're moving through your day, you can fill in the time auditor every 5 minutes with a color based on just a quick general jot based on what section of time, what category of time is this wasted time, is this project time, is this passion project time, is this family time, is this career time, is this sleep time, whatever it is, you fill that in, and then at the end of the day you have a colorful example of, was I productive? Is this filled in with the correct colors in order to justify all of the work I put forth, or was it a wasted day? We hate those wasted days. And along those lines, I would like to share a couple of books that are just phenomenal when it comes to utilizing our time the best possible way and making the most of it and being productive and not just being busy. So, Extreme Productivity, I will link these in the description box down below, by Robert Pozen. The One Thing by Gary Keller and Jay Papasan. I know I think this had a sleeve, but I don't much care for sleeves. And then also, I do not have it, but the 5-minute rule, which I will also link, because all of these books are, first of all, great, inspirational, inspiring, motivating, business moving forward reads, but they also focus on being efficient and being productive and getting the most out of every day possible so that you can have the time to do the things you want to do. If you're in this mode, if you're in this mindset, likelihood is you also really love the business you are doing. It is your passion, or you wouldn't be putting this much effort into it. Whether it's your passion because you want the money, whether it's your passion because you love the cause, whether it's your passion because you are just passionate about what you're able to earn money doing, and that's phenomenal. But there's still times that you are going to need some downtime, and the more efficiently and the better you use your time, the more flexible your free time can be. And you don't always have to be thinking what I need to be getting done, what I should be doing instead of this, blah, blah, blah. Guilt. So, pick those books up. Also, remember to defer the distractions. I want to encourage you to take actionable steps to defer any distractions that keep you out of productivity mode. So one thing that I do is my phone stays on mute almost all of the time. 95% of the time it stays on mute. So it still vibrates, but it doesn't make an audible sound. So, you have that, you always have that clue. It might as well be an audible, an actual ringtone, because you hear the vibration as well as you would a ringtone at a certain point. But it does still help keep the distractions down to a minimum. I will turn off notifications for any app that I don't absolutely want notifications for. Now, there are people who can get away with turning every notification off on their phone. I can't do that. I'm a mom. I'm, an employee. I'm a businesswoman. I need to have notifications when I get an email from my business, only my business email. I need to get notifications if my parents or my children message or call me. I need to get notifications when there is a major change in my kiddo's soccer schedule. Things like this I need to be notified of. So I don't have the luxury of turning everything off across the board and never just having everything completely silenced. However, I do go through my text messages, and most people are muted. I will still see that I received a text, but it isn't a text. If I receive a text from them in the middle of my workday, it is not a text that's going to distract me from doing what I need to be getting done. It is a text that I will see whenever I am at a pause place and I check my phone. So then I can respond rather than responding on their time. I'm responding on mine, and that's really critical. Another thing that tends to get me bogged down is coming up with things that I need to get done that aren't really things that I need to get done right that moment. So what I will do is I will start a weekend list, and I just call it a weekend list in that it's not critical for right now, but I'm thinking about it right now. So I will put it on a weekend to-do list. Now, I am not one who wants to be bogged down with a honey-do list 8,000 miles long that I could never get my head above on, in the 12-hour period that I have free on weekends. I'm just not that person. But by calling it a weekend list, it makes it clear that it is important, not necessarily urgent, and not necessarily related to anything that will earn me money or traction. If it's something that's critical and that is earn worthy, then put it in a more critical position. Mark it on your calendar. Schedule time for it. However, if it is that you keep forgetting to pick up your dry cleaning, and instead of saying, okay, I'll go at lunch today, even though that will just take time away from an important project that you're working on, then put it on the weekend. You can still pick it up this weekend. You can still pick it up in the evening. You can still pick it up some other time. Or even better, you can delegate it all the way across the board, and those kinds of items, just jot them down. Don't put any time and effort into thinking about them. Jot them down. Make them for later. Make them for someone else to do. Delegate, 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 delegate. Now, what a great productivity-packed day we're having. I love it. Are you fired up to start your day? Because I am. Now, I want to leave you with this awesome quote that didn't come from any of the sources that I just listed, even though there were a ton. And it says, magic happens at the intersection of I believe in myself and I don't give a bleep what anyone else thinks. I want you to take this to heart. I want you to be supercharged, super productive, have a fabulous, fabulous day. And remember that what you want, you don't have to justify to anyone. Go out, work for it, do the work, make the magic happen, and enjoy your day. So until I see you again, I hope that you are making it a great day.